Talking about the alternatives, Mr. X has three alternatives available. Among three alternatives, let's evaluate which one is better. So have a look on the screen. We have EBIT 3,12,500. In all the three plans, it will be the same. Now evaluating the equity financing plan, there will be no interest because no debt is there, and 50% tax will be reduced, and we will get earnings after tax. There is no preference dividend, so earnings available for equity shareholders will be same. So next up we have debt financing. In this we have to reduce interest because it's the financial obligation we pay for the debt. 8% of 2,50,000, that is 20,000 we have to pay as interest. 50% tax will be reduced. Again, there is no preference dividend, and earnings available for equity shareholders will be same as earnings after tax. Next up we have is preference dividend. So we will reduce preference dividend first before equity dividend. So preference dividend will be reduced, that is again 8% of 2,50,000, and earnings available for equity shareholders will be earnings after tax minus preference dividend. Now dividing earnings available for equity shareholders with the shares outstanding, we will get EPS. Now if we'll have a look at the EPS, in equity financing it's 1.25, debt financing 1.46, and preference financing 1.36. On the EPS, it's maximum in case of debt financing because we have a financial obligation to pay, that was interest. You might be thinking the EPS in debt financing is more than preference financing, but we have a financial obligation in both of them. So this is because the interest in debt financing is before tax, but in preference financing is after tax. Now you might be thinking we should accept the debt financing because it has the maximum EPS, but things don't go this way. We will examine the MPS in each plan. So have a look on the screen again. If PE ratio for equity plan is 10 times, debt plan is 8 times, and preference plan is 7 times, let's see which has the higher MPS. If we multiply EPS by PE ratio, we will get MPS. So have a look on the three plans and three various MPS under different plans. We will see the highest MPS is in equity financing. So despite of lower EPS, equity plan will be selected because it has the higher MPS.
But this is not only the approach to find an optimum capital structure. Mr. X can also use financial break-even point and indifference point analysis to find out the same. Let's see how it works. Financial break-even point. It is the minimum level of EBIT needed to satisfy all the fixed financial charges, that is interest and preference dividends. It denotes level of EBIT for which company's EPS equals 0. Financial break-even point BEP can be calculated as financial break-even point equals interest plus preference dividend divided by 1 minus tax rate. If EBIT is less than financial break-even point, the EPS will be negative. In such a case, equity would be preferred. If EBIT is more than financial break-even point, then more cost of financing instruments like debt and preference shares can be taken in capital structure. Indifference point analysis. Calculate EPS for each alternative at EBIT levels, for example 10,000, 20,000 or 30,000. Identify the EBIT level where EPS is equal to two alternatives. This is indifference point. Consider the company's risk tolerance and expected EBIT. If risk averse and expecting lower EBIT, choose equity financing. If risk tolerant and expecting higher EBIT, choose debt or preference shares. This sums up how a financial manager takes financing decisions for choosing an optimum capital structure.
Mr. X should also consider the three important factors while designing a capital structure, which is control, risk, and cost. Existing shareholders continue to hold the majority stake in the company. Existing financial risk should not increase beyond the tolerable limit. Since we are talking about risk, there is one more important concept in financial management, that is leverage. Leverage is the influence or the power. In financial analysis, it is the control of one variable over the other. There are three types of leverage. We will have a look on each one of them. First one is operating leverage with the business risk. Financial leverage indicates the financial risk. And leverage, which indicates the total risk, that is business risk as well as the financial risk. Capital structure should be designed in such a way that overall cost of capital remains minimum.